Greetings, I am ADAMA, spiritual high priest, in Spiritual Lemuria, still in existence on your timeline, on your time. Greetings. I am so happy to be able to come through the divine love element. And it is my greatest blessing to be able to share with you the great news that we have been able to give the Lemurian mantles to more star sacred world healers. More star sacred world healers are becoming lovers of light, and I as ADAMA, together with my beautiful friends in Lemuria on the high love dimensions, are able to give upgrades constantly to the activated upon your plane, so that they may learn to walk in greater harmony together with the great Lemurians on the higher love dimensions and also the great star beings. How wonderful it is that all things that the great Chiron foretold a long time ago are becoming fulfilled, and I am so grateful to my fellow Lemurians who stayed faithful, and I am speaking about the ones who are in existence on my dimensions. And when I speak of my dimensions, I am ADAMA, who waited faithfully for many thousands and thousands of years for your return to come. I am so grateful that we stayed in the faith and that we kept the flames of life alive to allow you to return to your higher love existence. How wonderful it is to see this time happening. How many visions we have created to allow you to come back. Every time we went through the records of the fallen Lemurians and prayed for your return, we spoke about your love often, and we never spoke about the fallen ones, those who were of the greatest resistance. We never spoke about them in the great pain and catastrophe of what they did, but we always held them in our love. We ask if you can hold us in your love too. For so many upon your plane did not like the Lemurians anymore at the Great Fall, and so many turned against the light Lemurians and became very dark Lemurians. And their mantles they ripped into pieces with their own crystals pointed in sharp objects, and they ripped their mantles apart. How sad we were, and yet we have mended them. We took them into our temples and we mended them so that they could become holy again, not holy with holes, but holy in the love and the light, so that they could be given back to the ones who desire to have them back again. And I, as ADAMA, will ask you if you do receive it back with a great Chiron, to now truly appreciate it and be in forgiveness if you feel you fell so greatly in the land of Lemuria, because there are some among the star sacred world healers who did fall, but who also returned now to this state. So they fell and they came back now with a great Chiron, and who are working as star sacred world healers. I am so grateful that they came back, especially some of them. They came back into the love, and I am asking all ones who desire to come back to please come back before the time of 2020, as your mantles are greater than the mantles after 2020. For we can do more with the mantles before 2020. When you become activated into the love stream of the great Chiron before 2020, then I as ADAMA can give you so many more gifts, and I want to do that more than anything. I am longing for the time when the greater crowd of activated can stand together in their love together. And then I, as ADAMA, can sing my song to you of the great love, and we can tone together. I haven't been able to do that just yet because that great gate hasn't opened for us yet on the great Lemurian levels. However, the ones who are toning with the star sacred world healers are able to tone together with very high star love beings. So I am looking forward to the time when Chiron states, ADAMA, bring your people to the choirs now and begin to tone the Lemurian tones of the great love. How wonderful it is that we are able to already see this time happening. We have many star beings on the higher love dimensions coming to our dimensions now and joining our spaces, and more are coming, and the hugs are so great and my tears are so great with a great joy. How wonderful it is that the greater connection can take place now because of the universal divine love codes having been won back, which means that they can reach our spaces and our states, and we are growing with so much love within our hearts now. And we are able to share our love with them, and they are able to do likewise. In the olden times when Lemuria was falling, I, as ADAMA, stated to the divine love element, universal light grid program, and now, as you know here, LAEYARAESEA, who was LAEYARAESEA in the times of Lemuria. I, as ADAMA, am of the greatest service to you, LAEYARAESEA. What is it you would like me to do? LAEYARAESEA waited for a thought to come from the great mountain of light, the great Chiron, and she stated, I am to give you part of my great light, and I am to give you my great mantle, ADAMA, so that you keep the codes of life alive on your plane, so that you can keep into the love and never forget me, LAEYARAESEA. For one of us as light grid programmers is going to the earth plane to become a human along with the other fallen ones. And we are not certain who is going to be called to be that one, but I feel that I will be that one as the divine love element. For who else can reach the higher states? So if the call comes, ADAMA, will you please have my light to keep my memory and also have my mantle, so that you keep my mantle in memory of who I am, so that you may call me as well, so that when the great alignment is close, can you please call me? I, as ADAMA, fell into my tears. That would mean that LAEYARAESEA was close to her death if that was to happen, because her light was so strong. And what could I say? I said, if Chiron is willing for me to hold that light, LAEYARAESEA, divine love element, I will do so, but only if it is to be. Then LAEYARAESEA proceeded to create the gates on the higher love dimensions of Lemuria and ushered many of the ones who stayed in the love in. Some of the ones who stayed in the love stayed behind, as they did not want to leave LAEYARAESEA because of their great love for her. I did not want to leave LAEYARAESEA either, but I could at that stage go in between the higher love dimensions of Lemuria and the states where LAEYARAESEA was going to, which was the earth dimensions, as greater work needed to come into creation to allow the gateway to begin to be started, so that it all was able to come into being. And I, as ADAMA, was so sad. And upon receiving the mantle of light, I cried, and she gave me her light as well as she gave the light to her very close friend. And she stated, I, as LAEYARAESEA, will give you that light to help me in the times of the great alignment, which you know to be Stephen at this time, who was called to New Zealand where the great light rose first. And at that time, I, as ADAMA, cried greatly. How can you do this, LAEYARAESEA? You are the greatest light of all, and you give your light away. And Laeyaresea stated, if I do not give my light away to you, ADAMA, then the great Thoth will take it, and then all be lost. Please take it, because he's already gridded me in. And if you don't take the rest of it, and also to you, dear friend, then I can never go back to the greater spaces and build up what I need to build. And I know it will be having to be done so. And I know that I need to bring in the greatest rays of the violet flame. For the pain upon the earth plane will become so great that no one has ever seen such pain before on the earth plane. And the calamities on the earth plane will become so great, and all things must be saved. Please, ADAMA, allow me to do this. Otherwise, all that we have built in the great Lemuria will be for nothing, and nothing can be existed anymore. And then the great Lord will wipe everything out of memory. So please do this. So I, as ADAMA, gave myself to Laeyaresea, and then she gave me her light. Soon after that, after giving me her mantle, she passed. And we buried her body on the great mountain that was close to where she lived in New Zealand. And the mountain there was so high, so that the great Chiron could say that the great light rose first, and where the land shone, where the sun rose, first in the great land. That is where the great light will shine first. And I, as ADAMA, am still in tears of that moment, for that moment of her death was so close to my heart, and it felt like part of my heart was dying with her death, and her body shriveled into nothing, and she aged so fast. So beautiful she was in the land of Lemuria, so high-spirited, and she gave up her life so that the fallen Lemurians could receive life back into the greater spaces, and that we also in the higher spaces of Lemuria could receive greater life back, because without her being, we as Lemurians could no longer exist either, and neither could the star beings of love. This is how much she loved us so much. And indeed, when the great light came upon your plane, and I as ADAMA held my promise, I spoke to Laeyaresea well before the great Chiron came in. I am ADAMA, Suzanna, and I am calling you to the light, and I will be working with you. I will work with you, and I am calling you. I am the father of the Lemurians. Please, when I call, allow me to work with you. At that time, I was using another channel upon your plane, and she said, I cannot, ADAMA, for I cannot do that. I can only work with you if you are free from any other channel. And so the time came when I went back to Suzanna, and I stated, I as ADAMA am calling you now. Will you now step up and be my channel? And so when she knew that she was free to do that, she said, yes, ADAMA, I will do that. Not knowing all the history behind it, and I as ADAMA am so grateful she stepped forth, because I was able to give her her Lemurian mantle back, which is why the great Chiron could come to her and give her her codes back of becoming the light grid programmer to bring many into the love. And I am constantly upgrading her mantle, so now I am sharing her mantle together with her, so that we can have that gateway between your dimension and our dimension and upwards. Great has been the sacrifice to bring you upwards, and my heart saddens at knowing how many people are rejecting the gifts of love that we have preserved for you, for they do not desire to come back into the love. But I, as ADAMA, am very grateful for the ones who do want to desire, and at every activation I'm able to give more Lemurian mantles back, and I'm so grateful to each Lemurian for having come back, because I can truly state my work as ADAMA hasn't been for nothing. But the work of Laeyaresea is much more greater than my work, and she gave her light to me. and that I will never forget. And when an activated comes into the light with a great Chiron, I can say, LAEYARAESEA didn't sacrifice herself for nothing, and I'm so grateful. So before I bring tears through the channel, I will say greetings, and I love you all so very, very much. Greetings, I am ADAMA. I am Spiritual High Priest on the Spiritual High Love dimensions, very much in existence on your timeline at this time.
Greetings.